All right, in this video, we're going to be going over the electrical function of the heart, and we're going to be going over an EKG as well. So I have a basic EKG drawn here. So just starting out with how does a heartbeat occur? So first thing that's going to happen, an electrical signal is going to be sent from the SA node. That's located right here on the right atrium, and that's going to depolarize both atria. Remember, for all muscle contractions, we need to depolarize before we can contract. So that is what the SA node does. It then sends that signal down to the AV node, then to the bundle of His. From the bundle of His, it then branches out into the Purkinje fibers. These Purkinje fibers are like the power supply for both ventricles of the heart. And that's going to cause the ventricles to depolarize, which gives us our QRS complex. That's that big kind of jagged line we see. I'll get to that in just a moment. So coming back to here with that first SA node activating, we get passive ventricular filling. That's when blood is just basically kind of passively filling into the ventricles here. From there, as pressure builds with that filling, we get atrial ejection. That is our P waves. That's that first little bump that you see. So both atria are going to contract. This pushes blood from the atria down through the AV valves into the ventricles. From there, after the pressure decreases in this atria, because it just dumped all the blood down into the ventricles, these valves are going to slam shut. That's going to be our S1 sound. So that's that first sound you hear if you're listening to a heartbeat. You sometimes hear it called a lub dub. So this is the lub, those AV valves closing. From there, we get to our QRS complex. So this is where both ventricles are depolarized, meaning they're getting ready to contract. At the same time, our atria are going to repolarize, and we get an isovolumetric contraction. So this is when the ventricles are contracting, but the valves are staying closed. So these two valves right here, the pulmonary and the aortic valve, takes a lot of force to actually force them open. So as the ventricles contract and contract and contract, they're increasing that pressure, building it up, until we get ventricular ejection, which is where the blood is finally forced through those valves and either to the lungs or into the aorta through the body. Once that pressure drops back down again, those valves shut close. That is our S2 sound, and that is the dub that you often hear when you're listening to a heart rate or heartbeat, excuse me. And at the same time, after that contraction, our ventricles are going to repolarize. Some odd sounds you might hear. So we have the S1, the S2, that's our lub dub. Those are totally normal. Weird sounds you might hear are S3, that's common with congestive heart failure. And then S4, that's caused by vibrations in the ventricle. It's often secondary to hypertension or hypertrophy of the left ventricle. I think that's it.